will produce good fruit. A bad tree will produce bad fruit. And so, just to continue, a good tree cannot bear bad fruit. If you are a good tree, operating in the spirit and in the power of the Lord God Almighty, then you're going to bear the good fruit of God in your life. But a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. So a good tree cannot bear bad fruit. If you're a good tree, you're going to produce good fruit, not the bad. And a bad tree can't even produce good fruit. Okay? Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit, you will recognize them. This is a call for vigilance on behalf of the church body. This is a call to stand guard, to stand watch for the false prophets, because they wound, they injure, and they scatter the Lord's flock. The church has been commanded to watch out for the false prophets. So the question I have for you is, are you watching out for them? This is your responsibility as well. Not only is it a responsibility of the prophet to challenge and confront the false prophets, but the church has also been commanded to watch out for the false prophets as well. Are you watching out for them? Where are the watchmen on the walls watching for the false prophets and confronting them, sounding the alarm? False prophets are ferocious wolves. A wolf is a predator who preys upon the Lord's sheep. Okay? A false prophet comes to the Lord's people as sheep, but inwardly they are wolves. The intentions and motives of their hearts is to devour the Lord's people and to scatter the Lord's flock. They destroy, just as the thief comes only to steal and to kill and to destroy, so also are the false prophets, wolves whose heart's desire is to devour the Lord's people and to scatter the Lord's flock. The church is commanded to examine the fruits of their lives and their ministry for this good fruit. It is by their fruit that you will recognize them. The church must examine the fruit so that we can identify the wolves that have come to us as sheep, but they're ferocious wolves. False prophets lead God's people away from God and not towards God. So when you're examining the ministry of a prophet, is this prophet leading people to God, or is he pushing people away from God, scattering them? People are losing their faith because they don't know what to believe anymore, because they heard these words of these wolves that are leading them astray. They fill the minds of God's people with lies that cause them to stumble into sin. False prophets are sometimes what I like to call the liar prophets. They're liars and deceivers. They prey upon God's people and destroy them like wolves do to sheep. They are predators. False prophets are liars who serve the father of lies, the devil. So, just to read a little bit more about this topic, about false prophets. We're going to read from Jeremiah chapter 23, 24 through 26. And we have to understand that false prophets have been around for a very, very long time. There's many, many prophets of different religions, different faiths, and things like that. But we are interested in the prophet of the Lord God, the one who came to breathe life into those dry bones. Okay? I have heard what the prophets say who prophesy lies in my name. They say I had a dream, I